Welcome to the Curated Nest podcast, episode 1. Today we meet the lovely Jill Whitehouse, who runs Inspired to Change Newcastle. She is a Solution Focused Hypnotherapist, and we dive into how working from home changes the way she feels about home, how much she misses her party kitchens from a previous home, and just how important light is when you are creating a space. So grab a cuppa and join us for a chat.
Hi, Jill Whitehouse is a solution-focused hypnotherapist working in person in the Gosforth area of Newcastle upon Tyne and online. This is a positive, modern talk therapy based on current neuroscience research. Previously, she was a teacher and a senior leader in primary schools across Newcastle and North Tyneside for over 30 years. She still delivers training and coaching in this area alongside her solution-focused hypnotherapy practice and her passion for sharing and encouraging a positive, proactive approach to mental health. Jill has built up Inspired to Change Newcastle over the last 3 years and into the successful private practice it is now, and loves to support her clients to understand their own brains and reactions to stress and anxiety and to take back control. This is a complementary therapy suitable for ages 7 to 107. That's quite range. Welcome, Jill Whitehouse.
Thank you. Yes, it's always quite a mouthful, isn't it, when it's solution-focused hypnotherapy?
It is. It's fabulous, though. So tell us a little bit about yourself to start.
So as I said, I changed career 3 years ago. So I've always been interested in mental health. I've always been interested in what makes us happy, what makes us enjoy life. And I think that was a big part of being a primary school teacher, was about making it a positive experience. School was always a positive experience for me, and I really wanted that for the children in my care. So it felt like a very natural progression to incorporate mental health kind of positive talk therapy into my education career. So so it's been quite a lot of change over the last 3 years, but I have absolutely loved it, and I'm really happy to be here today.
I guess it makes total sense because both careers that you've had are essentially, when you boil down to them, about caring for people, aren't they?
Yes, absolutely. It's about putting people into the right space physically, but also emotionally and socially. So whether it's education or therapy, putting them in that space where they feel safe, because that's where we learn. If we feel like people are there for us and we have that support network around us, then we can learn, we can grow, we can think about what we actually want. So yes, it does feel very similar, both careers.
So obviously, when you're working as a teacher, you spend a lot of time in the school. Now, working for yourself, you're spending a lot more time at home. Does that change the way you sort of feel about your home, or?
It does actually, because obviously in the past, a lot of my time has been spent out of the house. So it's absolutely lovely for me to be in a situation where I really get to enjoy my home now. I mean, it was always my safe space. It was always my base. The house I'm living in now, I hadn't actually been in this house for very long when I left my teaching position. So this house has very much kind of come together as me being self-employed, me working from home. So it's very much my home, but also my workplace. It's where I welcome my clients in, whether that's in person, whether they're actually coming to the house, or whether it's online. So especially the room that I'm sitting in now has very much evolved around the environment I want to be in and I want my clients to be in when we work together. So it's been a lovely opportunity to mix in home and work the way I would like it to be, which has been brilliant.
I think that's one of the really amazing things about being self-employed, is that making the employment, the business environment all fit for you, rather than when you are, employed by somebody else, you are dropped into their environment.
Yes.
So let's jump into talking homes. What is your favourite thing about your home? And that's a big question.
It is a big question. It is a big question. But you know what? I've been thinking about this, and I've been in this particular house for just 4 years now. Actually, I think it's 4 years this week. And what really, from the minute I walked through the front door, I knew it was going to be my new home, because it is such a light and airy house. It actually has a south facing garden, which is something that I have always wanted the whole of my adult life. And when I walked into this house, it just felt bright, it felt light. There was such a lovely sense of cozy but openness that really appealed to me. So at the back of my house, the living room and the dining room kind of flow together, and there are big windows and big patio doors, so it feels like the garden is part of the house. And my husband has worked very hard on the garden. It is still a work in progress, but he's getting there. And it's wonderful having that light, that greenery, and the flowers are almost like part of the house. So I think the light is probably my favourite thing about the house, because it just makes it feel so welcoming every time I walk in.
Yeah, and it can really, like, one thing that fascinates me about light is how much it can change over time, and it completely changes the mood of a space.
Yes.
So, I love that the garden and the nature aspect is like so much part of that openness at the back of the house. So was it, because you live in a relatively new build, don't you?
Yes.
Was it kind of a shell when you moved in?
No, so there was already a family living here. So I think it was about 8-9 years old. They kept it very much as it had been when they bought it. So it was kind of a bit of a blank canvas for us. The back garden was just straightforward, flat lawn. So it kind of gave us a bit of a blank canvas to do what we want. And we've done our normal trick of just kind of doing it bit by bit. But every time we add something to it, it changes it again. Every time we add a new piece of artwork, we change the kitchen to make it exactly the way we wanted it to be. So I think having that blank canvas was brilliant for us, because we wanted to live in it for a while and get a feel for it and how it flowed for us. And then it's kind of evolved with us adding bits and pieces as we go along. So we're always kind of looking for colours, furnishings, artwork that we can add, because I do quite like that minimalist look. So if I do choose a piece of artwork, then it has to be something that I know I'm going to look at and love every single time I see it. So we always wait for something that speaks to us.
So, I mean, my next question was going to be what for you turns a house into a home, but I guess you've kind of you've already gone into that. It's in those personal things that you choose.
Yeah.
And it's about being really selective and yeah. Do you feel it's quite an emotional thing choosing things for your home?
Yes, I do, because I think, you know, kind of what makes it a home. I would say the people first. The people first, because, you know, obviously having my family there is amazing. But I think, yes, it is an emotional thing to do, because, you know, it's that choice, isn't it? If that's your safe space, if that's where, you know, you love to be, and obviously I work in this space as well, so I'm going to be seeing it a lot, then I have to have an emotional connection. So I've got a real mix of photographs and artwork, because I love the photos of kind of key memories. I've got, you know, kind of the photos of my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my mum and dad, you know, wedding photos, photos of the boys. So it's those photos mixed in with pictures that, for lots of different reasons, shouted out by me, put me up on the wall, and that's what, still not there yet, still not a finished product. I don't think it ever will be, but yeah, I do love that kind of gradual adding to it.
Yeah, I think that's really beautiful. Is your home becomes that kind of vessel for, it's almost a scrapbook of your life, isn't it?
That's such a good way of putting it. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, like you say, you're collecting memories in loads of different ways, whether it's photographs, whether it's art, whether it's a piece of furniture that's really important to you, something that's been handed down. Yeah, I feel a very similar way about our home as well. And we were talking recently about the fact that we need to do a bit of a photo refresh. Because kind of, when you look at the photographs on our wall, we're in such a good habit of organising our digital photographs, but we don't have many recent ones up on the wall. So, but I love that process of sitting down and like selecting, like, what memories do we want on the wall? It's, that actual process is really lovely in itself. So you've mentioned art and objects and things that you are very selective about, because, you know, having been in your house, it is not a cluttered place at all. It's, you know, it's beautiful, it's curated, and as you say, it's got all that lovely light. So tell us about some of your like favourite artworks and what they mean to you, and do tell us about the one that's behind you.
I was going to start with that one. So, I mean, I call him Percy. He's not actually called Percy. It's actually a print that was part of the World Wildlife Photographer Awards. So this picture is the kind of the absolute picture around which my therapy room is built. So this is the room that I used to see my clients. So the picture behind me was a present from my husband when I qualified as a Solution Focused Hypnotherapist. Now, I talk about polar bears as a representation of danger. So I ask my clients, you know, how would you react if an angry polar bear was in front of you? Not a cute one like Percy behind, but the polar bear is the tool I use to discuss danger and how our bodies react. So the fact that my husband found this picture, ordered it in the biggest size he could possibly get it, and had it delivered to me as a surprise for qualifying in my new career was just so special on so many levels. So it's so funny because some of my clients see it as soon as they walk in. Others will be 3-4 weeks in and will suddenly go, "Oh, you've got a polar bear on the wall." And it's such an amazing thing. I mean, I actually have polar bears all around the room. I have one on my wrist. I have polar bears on the bookshelf. There's a bit of a theme. But it's such a brilliant talking point, and everybody responds to that picture just so warmly because Percy is just so cute. And in that picture, he does not look like the angry danger that I'm describing, which is very soothing. So yeah, I love this picture. It means an absolute kind of the world to me because it signifies how amazing my husband was and thoughtful, but also how much he was with me in terms of my new career. So yes, a lot of emotion tied to that one.
Jill's husband.
I know, isn't he amazing? I have to say, he's very good at presents. So other pieces of art that I've got in the house, I have to mention yours. Because I know. I mean, I am one of your biggest fans. I just share everything that you put on social media because I love it. But your print, which was the birch trees in Bluebell Woods, you know how I felt about that print right from when you first started the process. So I didn't even know how it was going to look at the end, but I was already hooked in. And I think it was the colours. Obviously, my inspired to change colours are purple. So that Bluebell Woods, those little purpley blue flowers appealed to me straight away. The nature, I love trees. I love that green grass. So that one was just, yeah. So that's in Pride of Place in the new kitchen. And everyone remarks on it when they come in because it's just beautiful. Why would they not? And a couple of others. So I have one that I've had for years. That is of St Mary's Lighthouse because I grew up in Whitley Bay, Cullercoats. I love the beach. The beach is just my absolute happy place. And it was really interesting because I bought this picture because again, it's got like silvers in it. It's got the blue of the sea. Those kind of colours really appeal to me. And then I later found out that it had been painted by Sarah Faruqi, and I used to work with her husband.
I love Sarah.
And it was just amazing because I hadn't realised until I got it home, and I'm looking at the name thinking, I know that name. So it was an added emotional attachment. So that picture has literally, every time I've moved house, that picture's come with me. So I love that one. And then the other one that stands out for me is I have a picture of, it was actually another present from my husband. He's very good at this. And it's huge, this picture. And it's a painting of the Tyneside cinema in Newcastle upon Tyne. So it's a shot of like the little cafe tables and then the cinema. So a really kind of significant shot of Newcastle, because I absolutely love Newcastle. I could just wander around. I love it as a city. So yeah, that's a nice one, and that's the first thing you see as you walk into the living room. So again, very bold, and yeah, I love that one as well. So they're my favourites.
I always think there's something quite continental about walking down that street next to the
Yes.
Tyneside cinema, because it's got kind of that, the Van Gogh
Yes.
cafe on the street with the beautiful lights strung on.
And that's
really like intimate space. It's really good.
I think it reminds me of Newcastle, but also city breaks, because I love city breaks. I love, kind of that kind of French, Italian thing, and it's got elements of that in it as well. So it almost looks like a holiday shop, but it's Newcastle. So best of both worlds.
We do live in a fabulous place.
We do live in an amazing place.
If there's anyone listening to this that hasn't been to Newcastle, then you need to get it on your list.
The fact that we've got Whitley Bee and the coast, kind of 15 minutes that way, and then 10 minutes that way, I've got Newcastle city centre. It doesn't really get much better than that.
We're so close to Northumberland for incredible walks in nature as well.
Yeah, amazing.
I mean, I don't know why you'd live anywhere else, quite frankly.
Exactly.
But like listening to you talking about the art and also talking about your favourite thing about clothes, light seems to be the big thing that's coming in. You're talking about like the way that you've got silvers in your artwork and the light hitting the water, and that seems to be like a really big theme. So like my next question, which again you've already kind of answered, was like, what's your favourite room? So is it when you're sat in your sort of dining living area looking out onto your garden, or is there a room from a home that you lived in the past that sort of has that really special memory for you?
That's a really interesting one, because I have to say, I mean, I absolutely love this room. I spend a lot of time in this room. It's set up exactly how I want it to be. And I do love our living room. I love the garden. But a room that's really kind of jumping into my head. So we lived in South Gosforth for a very long time. We were there about 24 years. And that's where I got married. That's where I had boys. That's where, the boys grew up and went to school. And when we moved in, it was a 3-bedroomed semi-detached house. When we left it, I think it was a 5.5 bedroom. I think we doubled it in size because we'd added so many extensions on. But we added a couple of extensions on the kitchen, and we used to call it our party kitchen. And that's probably my all-time favourite room that I've ever had in a house, because it was a decent sized kitchen, but then with this whole other room added on. So it had the breakfast bar bit, it had, a little sofa area, it had the Velux windows. So it was so light. And I do, like, the more I talk about this, the more I realise that light is huge for me. Because I like that connection between inside and outside. So party kitchen was where everyone used to hang out. So everyone always used to come to our house for Christmas, New Year, bonfire night, whatever it was, because the kitchen was just laid out in a way where everyone could just do their own thing. They could sit down if they wanted to, they could stand if they wanted to, and then we'd open the patio doors and they could, move in and out of the garden. So I think that connection between inside and outside is a big one for me. I like that flow. Yeah.
Sounds like a real hub. Again, it's a place to make memories.
Yeah. And it had a bright green, luminous green wall as well. So it was so colourful. Like, everyone used to walk in and just go, wow. Because it was such a statement. But I love that.
If you sort of think of yourself as a minimalist, then that bright green wall is quite a surprise for people coming in.
It was, yeah. But we loved it. I mean, it was wallpaper, so it had like a bit of a pattern on it, but it was so bright. And I think, mixing that in with the minimalist made it even more of a statement.
Yeah. It's nice to have little surprises.
Oh, I love splashes of colour.
Well, as you can see.
Yeah,
I don't splash
so
with
do you.
colour, like I go full saturation.
Yeah.
It's
See, I
very
go cream walls in the main with the odd colour wall, but then my colour comes in splashes. Like my furniture is very kind of bold colours, so that kind of fits in really well with the cream.
Right, so you've already touched on your happy place, but
yeah,
saying like how important the coast is to you. But is there like a specific area of the northeast coast that's your happy place, or
so it would be Whitley Bay and Tynemouth. So I'm always torn between those two beaches. I have to divide my time between the two. But probably where my biggest memories are would be Tynemouth Long Sands, because when I was growing up, it was a 10-minute walk from my house down to the beach. So as a teenager, that's pretty much where I spent the vast majority of my time if I wasn't at school or creating some kind of mixtape in my bedroom. So, we used to just hang out at the beach. That was an extension of our house, really. That's just where we all hung out. So I think I've always been used to that space, that feeling of I can breathe. I think that's how I always feel when I get to the beach, of all of that fresh air. I feel like I need to soak it all in. But yeah, so I would say Tynemouth Long Sands is probably my ultimate happy place.
I share a similar dilemma to you in that Whitley Bay and Long Sands
Yes.
They alternate in which one
yes.
is my favourite. For different reasons. I think like Long Sands is a really special place to me because my husband and I used to go there a lot before we were married, and that ended up being where we had all our wedding photographs.
Right.
So it's really special to me in that sense, and my daughter absolutely loves it. It's a great place to just, because it is so, as the name suggests, so long. It's so vast. You could just walk for so long and kind of lose yourself. But also Whitley Bay is really special to me because that's where my gramps was from, and having grown up in the northwest, I didn't like to ask me how because his accent was very different to everybody else. But I was completely until I was mid-teens, had no clue that he was from somewhere else. As soon as I knew it, kind of, in my late teens, it kind of felt like a bit of a pull to come here. So as soon as I met my husband at university, and he offered to have me come and stay. It just felt like the instant right place to be.
Yeah.
And I know what you mean. Like you get to the beach, and it is that instant calm because the air's different, the sounds are different. Like that, the waves coming in and out. It's a meditation, isn't it? Like you can't get away from it. And I feel like in a place like that, it's kind of instant grounding, especially if you take your shoes off. It's just beautiful. And it's that I find it really humbling to feel like such a small part in an enormous world. It puts things in perspective a little bit.
It does. And I love the fact that it doesn't matter what the weather's like. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's grey and raining or beautiful sunshine and blue sky. I still love it there. I still get there and get the same feeling. So I'm
the same.
Yeah. There's no bad beach weather.
No, there's not.
Choice in clothing.
I see. That's the primary school teacher in me. As an early years specialist, there is no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. because, as early years, it doesn't matter what the weather, we're outside. So, yeah, that's never bothered me. You just put your raincoat on. Yes.
Just crack on. Yeah.
Just crack on. I love that.
You make so many more discoveries at the beach when it's slightly whipped up and stormy and rainy anyway.
Yeah.
That's when all like the little treasures come up.
Yeah.
Like you go after a storm, that's when you find all like the sea glass and there's more shells that have been washed up, and
I just love the fact that every time you go, it looks slightly different. You never see the same beach twice. It's always, something's always a little bit different. And I love that.
Yeah, the first few times I went to Longsands, I had no idea that there were enormous rocks.
Yeah.
Because I must have been there at like high tide. And then I went one day and I was like, where did those rocks come from? My husband was like, they've always been there.
They've always been there. Yes. It just shows you different things at different times. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. So we know what your happy place is, and we know how much you love your home. But if you were to think of your dream home, like the ultimate, everything slots into place. Everything is exactly how you'd want it. What would that look and feel like for you?
Pretty similar to what I've got now, I have to say, because obviously, the process I've been through, I've had the bigger house when the boys were both at home. But I suppose my ideal home would be, I suppose, something slightly bigger than I've got now, only so that everyone could stay over. But this is a new thing because my son and my daughter-in-law now live in Como. Not forever, but for the next few years. So I'd love something slightly bigger just so that they could stay over. That would be lovely. That would be lovely. But in terms of feel and location, I'm very happy with where I am, loving the new garden. So this house still feels very new, very full of potential. And that's what I like. I like something I can play about with, something that I can turn into. So my ideal house would probably be this one, but with a bit more of a budget to really go for it. Yeah. I'm not really very good at decorating, so maybe a decorating budget so I could get someone in. But yeah, very similar to what I've got now, because we thought very carefully about where we wanted to be and how we wanted to live. And I'm very happy with the choice that we made. So I feel very settled.
That's beautiful. I love that. Because I guess if you've lived in a couple of other places as well, you've already kind of fine-tuned something.
Yes.
You know what works for you, you know what doesn't work for you. And I guess as your kids get older, the way you use your home changes slightly.
Yes.
And like you say, it becomes more about, and I'm sure I'll have this in the future, but it becomes more about having people to stay rather than housing them all the time. So it's a different function. But yeah, I love that. I love that your house is still a work in progress, and I think mine certainly is for me. I mean, a couple of months ago, this room did not look like this. This was the living ground, and now it is the colourful office. And it is part sanctuary, part like stress head room.
Yes.
It's sort of like it's my space to let that out. But yeah, I think it's great that homes can be a work in progress because we're constantly evolving.
Yeah.
And as you grow and age, your priorities change,
Yeah.
don't they? Like at the minute, we have many areas to house my daughter's enormous stash of toys and Lego and games and all the other stuff. So we'll come a day where we can reclaim some of that space.
Yes.
Probably not for a while, but yeah. So yeah, it's that. I think the evolution of a home is a really beautiful thing.
Yeah. Well, we've just added 2 cats into our home as well, so that's changed things ever so slightly. Things aren't quite as tidy. Well, they weren't quite as tidy for the first couple of weeks, but we're starting to calm down a little bit now. But yeah, it's that constantly changing though. That's what I love.
Yeah. I recall us getting a kitten when we were very little, and I seem to recall that kitten really helping our furniture to evolve in its texture.
It's helped my curtains to evolve, not in a way I would like them to evolve. So they might have to be a change at some point in the future. But they're very cute, so I will forgive them.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get no end of cuddles, hopefully.
Yes. Oh, lots of cuddles. Yes.
So we're going to end with a few quick fire questions.
Okay, go for it.
So brace yourself. So thinking about your home and your general style, are you more classic or modern?
Classic.
Maximalist or minimalist, we have touched on.
Minimalist.
Country or city? I feel like this is going to be a tricky one for you.
City.
Okay. I guess
if you'd said city or coast, yeah, I would have. Yeah, that would have been harder. But I'll go city because I do love the city.
Swimming pool or games room?
Swimming pool. Love the water.
And this is one that my husband and I debate on a regular basis. Chef or cleaner?
Cleaner. I hate cleaning. I quite like cooking, but yeah, cleaner. Yeah, definitely.
A woman after my own heart. I can tidy. I can organise.
Yes. I love tidying. Organising is probably one of my favourite things in the world, but not cleaning. I'll do it, but I'd rather not.
Well, that's it then. So for your dream home situation, we want a couple of extra rooms for people to visit, and we want a cleaner on a regular basis.
Oh, sounds good to me.
Job done. Fab. Right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. If people want to reach out to you and find out a little bit more information, where should they come and look for you?
So if you have a look at my website, which is Inspired to Change Newcastle upon Tyne, all of my contact details are there. I'm Inspired to Change Newcastle on Instagram and Facebook, and I would love anyone to just check out the website. There's a lovely free audio download to help you with sleep that you can download. But yeah, just get in touch if you've got any questions. It'd be lovely to hear from you.
Fabulous. I will put all of those details in the show notes as well, so that people can just go click on the links and find out more about you. But yeah, I look forward to hearing more about how your home evolved.
I know. What will be the next piece of artwork that goes up? Who knows?
Exciting. Okay, well, lovely speaking to you, Jill.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here for episode 1. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe, and drop me a comment if you have somebody that you'd like to see in a future episode. See you for the next one.